Why did y'all choose him to do your project?
He composes everything from top to bottom.
For instance, I'm DJ Premier.
Ask. Okay,
I'm
good,
DJ Premier.
Go on.
And you know, I done kind of fucked your beat up a little bit.
You literally say, Prim, I love you to death, but why would you go in this direction based on everything that you've done for music, not just hip hop? Why? I need to know from you.
Who the fuck do you think you are talking to me like this? And how would you have received that?
Probably like the Jack Thriller premiere version. I mean, you know,
this nigga serious. Hey, Royce, you know this nigga Adrian Younge talking this bullshit, man. I wasn't even gonna do this project, Royce.
Yeah, on the reels, that's really was also on my mind when I did what I did, because he and I had conversated about production and whatnot and what he does and does not like, and it was similar to how I judge things. So. Already I'm like, yo, I got to top what he did, and not in a disrespectful way, but I want to outdo what he laid down as the groundwork for me to take it and flip it like we do with hip-hop records. And then I even put in the same mind state of he's a record I just happened to find when I went digging, and I was like, damn, okay, Adrian Younge, that shit sound good. Let me take this home and see if I can make some beats out of it. And that made me go, let me grab another copy of another album. Let me see how many other Adrian records he got in existence and make more beats. You know, we've been doing that with James Brown, David Axelrod, Jack Bruce. There's a lot of people that we like buy all their stuff just because we hope there's more. Johnny Dankworth and things like that. Adrian has that same amount of just crazy flavors that I was able to just totally dissect and flip.
Now, did Mike turn you on to him? Is that how you got wind of him, or you were already pretty privy on what he does?
I came to the party late. I got up on Adrian when the Magna Carta album. As soon as Picasso hit the finals game, I was like, yo, what is that? That was immediately the story though. That they pulled from this guy. And then when I got that album and I heard that Heaven joint, which is like probably one of my favorite songs in the last at least 5 years.
Have you ever been to heaven? Have you ever seen the gates?
Yeah, but that Heaven record, so it was like, and then as I started doing my research, that's my thing now, I do research. So I started doing my research, and I found out that he scored the entire Black Dynamite movie, and he did the soundtrack as well, which is another one of my favorite movies. So I was officially a fan, and then as I delved into the catalog and then heard a lot of the stuff that he was doing, by the time I had the conversation with Mike, I had already knew everything. As soon as he brought his name up, I was like, what? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't even know that he was available for that kind of work.
That's crazy.
And when Mike told me that he knew, Andrew, his manager, and he was cool with them, he could make it happen, I was like, yo, let's do it. I was really gung-ho about it. He immediately, because he was supposed to create the music for us for Preem to sample. We weren't supposed to pull from his catalog. He was supposed to make all new shit. So he immediately went in and made some shit and sent it. And I immediately, just to show him I wasn't fucking around, took it and did something to it and sent it right back to him. And I remember him hitting me back like, damn, you ain't fucking around. And I was just like, yo, that's just not what I don't fuck around. You know what I'm saying? So it was
he don't look like it either.
Yeah, so nobody else jumped. Nobody else in the group laid nothing to it. So that was kind of a sign to me, and when I'm working with Slaughterhouse, I like to do things that we're all excited about. So, you know what I mean? So I don't never like to try to push them to do something that they don't want to do, and we never got to the point where I even got their input on it. It's just something that just didn't happen. Everybody was kind of doing their thing, and I felt like it was this window that was closing, and I didn't want to ruin the opportunity. So, that's when I went to Preem. It was like, yo, man, maybe we could do this. And it just went from there.
And Preem, like the last time, you really collaborated was with Gangstar. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what are your expectations for this project? And are you, kind of got a little anxiety about it?
No, well, just to correct the question, me and Bumpy Knuckles did an album called Collection 2 years ago. So that was a collaborative thing, but it's still different than that because Collection was just a collection of beats that everybody turned down. And he said, give them to me, an album, let's make an album, because I had enough to put in there, and that came out to be a great album in the history of my catalog, so I'm proud of that. So, but
You got some
this,
beats left that, like, no throwaway.
yeah, there's some lying around.
Hook your dog up.
Let's negotiate.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a certain anxiety, but it's a healthy one. It's not a stressful one. It's more like getting ready for, like, when I go on stage. There's an anxiety, but not where I'm nervous or I'm not stressed because I gotta focus. It's just here we go, and it's excitement. Same thing with this. It's like anybody that gets lyrics, dope beats, and I always say scratching, which all hip hop people that like hip hop supposed to get it. They'll love this because it's really in the pocket, the intro to outro. And then I like his selection of MCs because he went with the younger cats that he knew could really put a hot pen to it. But he also went with people like Common, and we had Black Thought on it, but he wasn't able to finish due to the death of their manager with Rich Nichols. So we'll relink to do some extra Prime stuff once the album is out. Like remixes or a couple of deluxe songs that'll be added. That's a special thing that we'll tell you about soon. But other than that, everybody else was, more younger artists who were, in their 20s, that Royce knew could pull it off and lay it down. And I'm very into sequencing albums. Like that's the part I don't like nobody to mess with it. Let me sequence it, and that's a DJ thing.
Is Royce easy to work with? As far as like arranging his album, was
he's like a producer to me because he does so many different things to when he makes a record. Like even with the song Prime, all the part when he said the car pulls up beside him and he sings that.
Then the car pulls up on the side of me, an attractive woman is in it, eyeing me, trying to get my attention, but I just play the victim. Like, what do you want from me?
And then he's like, and he played the victim. Like, what do you want from me? And then I just pull off like, and it's just like,
what do you want from me? Then I pull off like,
and then he talks it out like, my nigga, my nigga, my nigga. You don't know how, what it feels like to be tired of fucking these hoes. Like, he's rapping it out, but he's also, I feel like he's talking to a nigga that just any motherfucker that understands that conversation.
My nigga, my nigga, my nigga. You don't know what it feels like to be tired of fucking these hoes. It's just hard to stay alive these days. I can't end up on no more collages on bitches' IG pages. They see these cars, then they want to be reality TV stars.
And you supposed to get it, and then he goes back into his flow. That's skills. And that's the part that I know he's meticulous about being looked at as one of those highest regarded MCs, which is what you want as an MC. You spit, you want to be thrown up there way in the ranks. I have my top 10 for life, and it's you should expect a dope list of people just like. You don't want him. He don't want to be in the bottom 80 of great MCs. You want to be in the top 5, really. So that's what, and you can tell he strives for that every time he puts a record down. So, and then again, we work together so much. I'm used to his way. There was a few. The only thing we debated on was me just doing more songs because I said the plan was 5 songs.
Right.
Now you push me to do 4 more. Adrian gave us the like I said, the tools to make it that. And, he was able to just sit back and just let us show him that we're gonna do justice to your music. We're not gonna fuck it up.
Well, it's capital P, capital R for Preem and Royce, Premier and Royce, and then rhyme. So you got Premier, and you got the rhyme. We're taking it back to the MC standing in front of the DJ and the turntable. You know what I mean?
Word.
Cuts, beats, raw rhyme. Just what the newer demographic.
They don't do that no more.
They never had it, but they never had the opportunity to really digest it properly.
Right.
We can't be those. He's 30 years in, I'm 15 years in. We can't be those guys to sit around and complain about the state of hip hop and not do our due diligence. I will provide it for you. I'm still fresh. I can still rap with the best of them. So I'm gonna do this so you can understand it. And take it and do what you want to do with it. It's like a contribution. It's not about the sales. It's not about. That's why we didn't do a radio record or nothing like that. Yeah. It's not even about that shit.
When we dropped Courtesy, we were like, I don't call it a single. Just dropping a joint.
You know what I'm saying? If I was hearing this album for the first time, I had nothing to do with it. It would blow me away. So this is music for people that just like good music, not even just hip hop. You know, it falls under the category, I guess, but it's just really good music.
Is there anything one of y'all want to say to This Is 50 before we get up out of here? I know y'all got some more famous shit.
Yo, December 9th, Prime will be in stores in vinyl and digital, and be on the lookout for the deluxe set coming soon. So this is 50. Thanks for the opportunity of having us here. Shout out to Fifth and the whole G Unit.
Yeah, shout out to G Unit.
Word. Yeah, pop.
Love that reunion.
Yes, sir.
For sure.
Yeah.
This is Adrian Younge, kicking it with my brothers in Prime, and you're watching This Is 50.
Well, like I always say, you just can't say you're really something. You got to be a man. You know, we over and we out of here. Do I have something in mind? Y'all go to commercial. Don't kiss them hoes in the mouth unless you got to.
And this is for the real hip-hop niggas who would never, ever, ever ask me, am I here to replace Guru? Word, that's how you feel up on this track? Little bitch nigga try shit on me.